Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're going to do the next process on the Bison air compressor. We keep changing our minds, and basically we're just trying to figure out the best route to go and make a good air compressor for the Bison Workshop that is going to be sufficient for what we need to do. We got to keep in mind that we want to keep, or we want plenty of volume, the most we can get. I've decided that with a little collaboration from one of my YouTube subscribers, and that would be Crafted. I've been talking to him, and we believe that this tank alone should be sufficient enough to run this shop with no problems. So we've decided to scrap the idea of having two separate tanks. So we're going to keep just the one tank, run to the plumbing work that was here for the furnace and hot water heater, refrigerator, and the whole 9 yards. So we've got our pump built, and we hope it works. We haven't tested it yet. I've had to tank up the pressure, but that was with the other pump. So this one here still hasn't been tested yet. So we're just going to build this one, and then all the rest of them we're going to put together and sell. But for now, what we're going to do is we've already got our filter made, and that was my last video. Now we want to work on the motor. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a way to adjust this motor. So we'll turn around here and let you look, see what we got going on here. What we're going to do is I've got this angle iron that used to be a bed frame, and we're going to make that so that it mounts in there, and then we're going to round these edges off to make it look a little cleaner. And we're going to drill a hole in line with these nuts or these bolts that tighten the motor down. Alright, so we'll have a hole right here and a hole right here, and then we're going to have holes right here, and then we're going to drill the holes here and tap them out and just have a hold down bolt to hold this in place. And then once we've got that done, I found these rods that I don't know what they came off of, I can't remember, but they got a flat spot on them with a hole already drilled in it, and all I got to do is just make that hole a little bigger. So then we'll take this bolt out and put this underneath of it. Of course, we're probably going to have to get a 1/4 inch longer bolt to put in here, and then this will go in underneath that. And once we've got the hole drilled for this to go in, then we're going to figure out our length, which would probably be somewhere around right there, and we'll cut that off. And then we're going to tap this, or use a die and put threads on this and thread it, probably about that much of it, and put a nut on it on the outside here. So that way I have one on this one and I have one on this one, and then when I need to tighten the belt, I can just take a 9/16 wrench and tighten them up evenly, so that this way I have to adjust the motor this way so that it's coming back straight. So I just turn a little bit here and turn a little bit here, and it comes back straight. And I think that'll work. Anyway, the first order of business is we're gonna go ahead and tap this out. Now I've already got one hole here, so we're gonna see if we can tap that one out and line it up where it needs to be. It might not be in the right spot. That's no big deal though. So we're gonna mark our holes and find out where we're gonna put those, and we'll be back. Alright, we've got our bracket made, and kind of cleaned all the edges up so don't get cut. Kind of 45, it's not quite a 45, but it's close enough. And I drilled my holes and got my bolts stuck in. So the next order of business is to make our rods. And basically it's going to look something like this. With that one. And don't tell me I done lost that again. I swear I lose stuff more than any person I know. Well, anyway, it don't matter. I was wanting to show you both of them in line, but oh well. I can't find it. So anyway, this is what it's going to look like. And then we're going to have a nut on this side of it. And this will be threaded. So that should work. We'll have to make that hole just a little bit bigger. Oh, I got some paint on it. Okay. Well, I'll wire wheel all that stuff off of it and it'll get repainted. But anyway, that'll slide back and forth on it. And I believe that'll work. And when you go to loosen it, you just loosen up your nut and then push the motor. No big deal. So the next thing we need to do is drill these out to fit these bolts. And once we've done that, then we'll go ahead and thread the rod. Alright, we've got our holes drilled in the ends of these, and I had to get longer bolts because these were a little too short. So we went and got some that were about quarter-inch longer to accommodate for the thickness of the flat piece. Alright, so now we can go ahead and slide this bad boy on the bracket we made, and then we'll set these screws in there just temporary where it's going to set, and then we're going to measure about how long we want to make these, and I'm thinking somewhere around about 5 inches. Simply because I don't believe I'm going to be using a shorter belt. It's possible I could use a longer belt. Let's put the longer, I think this is a longer belt here. Nope, that's a shorter belt. So I think that'd be fine. So we're going to do, I'm certain, yeah, 5 inches. We're going to do 5 inches, and we're going to thread 2 inches. So let's go ahead and start cutting these. And I'll cut them at 5 inches. And then we'll probably show the threading process. So we'll go ahead and cut these. Put this back together. You don't want to take them both out at the same time or your plate will fall down. Then I got to make a cage for it to enclose the thing. So I got to figure out where I'm going to get the material for that. So anyway, we're going to get set up and cut these down, and we'll be back. Alright, now we're going to cut this at 5 inches. Alright, I'll meet you at the grinder, and we'll go from there. Alright, now we've got it cleaned up, and it's got a little dimple in right here. Put some more light on the subject here. A little dimple here because these were bent over like that before, and I had to straighten them up, and they've got a little dip in them like that. But that's alright. I'm only going to thread down to there anyway, so that gives me a reference point. I had to straighten that a little bit. So now we're going to take a file and just kind of clean up a little bit around the edges there. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that right where the bend was, and that's where we're going to go down to with the tap or the die. So the reason I chamfered this top is to give the threader a better way to bite. Get all this here metal out of there from the last job. Alright, now we get to thread it. And you want to make sure you're straight. It's a little tough getting started. Now we'll wire wheel this. like our nut. And she goes all the way down. Now I'll do the second one off camera and then we'll go and show you the finished product. Alright, now we've got our adjusters made. Now we get to put them on. Now we slide this up on there. Then we get to tighten it up. Then we put our nuts on it. Well, I had two of them. I don't know what I've done with the other one. Unless it fell in the floor. It probably did when it was vibrating. That's alright. I got another one here. Then we put these on. And you see how loose the belt is, right? Now, take our 9/16 and adjust it. You want to kind of do them evenly. And never got it. You got about a 1/2 inch play there. Now, once you've tightened these up, which is 1/2 inch, then you can make sure that these are snug so that they don't come loose. And then the front ones, you just tighten them up. Now your motor is nice and snug. You got good tension on your belt. And when you go to take the belt off, it's pretty simple. You just take and loosen these up, push it or loosen your mount up, loosen these up, slide it that way, take your belt off, and reverse the process when you put your other one on, your other belt. So that's the Bison's way of adjusting a belt. I hate motors trying to get them adjusted, and you have to pull on them at the same time you're trying to adjust it, and you don't always get it right. So this here assures you that you're going to have a good tight belt. You don't want it too tight. You don't want to ruin your bearings in your motor. But, you know, ½ inch is usually a good rule of thumb when it comes to a belt. So ½ inch is good. It's a little more than ½ inch, but I'm good with that. So there you have it. I'll move you up here. So now you got my way of doing a adjustable motor bracket, and you guys will have to stay tuned. We're getting ready to start cleaning up the wheel and cleaning the motor up. You hear how quiet that is? I'm going to show you something here real quick on that filter. Watch this. You guys will, you hear it. You hear how quiet that is? Watch it. Strain a little bit on that one. You hear that? I think that filter's going to do a fine job. Listen one more time. Hear that? Yeah, I think it's going to work just fine. Anyway, so there you have the adjustment for the motor for the air compressor, and you guys subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think. You want to see something different, let me know. But we know where I'm geared for, taking trash and making a treasure. And you guys have a good one. Later.